2025 has been flying by, and if you are like me, then girl, we got some catching up to do. Those goals are looking at me, I'm looking at them goals looking at me, I'm looking at them goals. I'm saying, what you doing? They saying, girl, what are you doing? So that's why we're here. We're here to talk about how the great lock-in probably just needs to be a pivot for us. Listen, hear me out. Follow me when I say this. There is no way that we could potentially begin and complete major goals in the last quarter of the year. It's unrealistic. However, remember in January or maybe even December when you sat down and you decided it's time for me to get some things done. You wrote them down. You might have even developed a plan. You started working on January, February, March, and by April, they were a figment of your imagination, right? So now we're at the point where maybe you made some progress, maybe you didn't. Maybe you stayed focused, maybe you didn't. And so now it's time for me to show you how I have applied pivoting so that the great lock-in can be something that is successful for me. Are you in? Come on and join me for this crazy. As I started to look at what are the things that I could do differently to achieve the goals that I had in mind, there were a few things that I told myself before we even got started, before I even identified the goals, before I even tried to build out a plan. One, we're gonna have to be completely realistic, but we're gonna have to be transparent with ourselves. Have we done anything? Why haven't we done it? Let's be honest with ourselves about those kinds of things, because listen, I can sit here and say I didn't achieve this goal, but why didn't I achieve it? Were there limiting factors that prevented it? Were there other steps in the process that needed to happen in order for me to do that? Was it one of those contingent upon progress in the right direction goals? I'm a person that a lot of the times my goals, my focus is very conditional. It depends on something. Something probably has to happen for me to get to that point, or there are some parts of my goals that ultimately are on me. It just depends on what we're talking about. Other thing for me is consistency. I stay consistent in things that are comfortable most times. Moment of transparency. However, it's time for me to shake that off because it's not always going to be comfortable. It's not always going to be easy, especially with the added load of a baby. No, I might not always be able to do it when I want to do it the way I need to do it, or I might not even be able to get it done before I have to tend to my baby. So I have to be flexible in a lot of ways when it comes to that. And that consistency is highly connected to my ability to see a return on my investment. If I don't start to see a little progress, see a little impact, see something that's tangible that I can either quantify or visibly see, then I lose interest. My workout goals are always the one that struggle because although the scale might not be moving, I'm stronger. The scale might not be moving, my waist is smaller. The scale might not be moving, my clothes fit better. Those are things that you have to it's a mind over matter thing. It's all about perspective and how you look at it. And for me, a lot of this pivot is about retraining my mind because it's time for me to shake my thoughts off. I'm my biggest hater, honestly. I talk myself out of things. I make everything hard when it's easy. I complicate the simplest things because I'm a perfectionist and an overachiever and I want it done right first time instead of just trying. A reality check is also for us to start looking at what has worked, what didn't work, what did we start and we didn't complete, what did we start and we ran into some roadblocks and we were like, not interested. Let's stop right there because we need to evaluate that entire experience to identify what strategies worked, what strategies didn't work, what have we tried, what haven't we tried, because we spend so much time spinning our wheels and spinning them the same direction, going down the same path to hit the same roadblock, to come back the other way. We're wasting our time. It's time for us to be efficient and effective the first time, most often. Sometimes we have to hit those roadblocks. Sometimes we have to hit that wall in order for us to stop, take a second, think about it, reprocess it, and consider a different avenue. Sometimes you have to be blocked in order to be pushed to pursue something else. I know it sounds crazy, but I promise it makes a lot of sense once you're in it. One thing that I found in this process is celebrating the wins. So I actually started to write out a list of wins because it may be losses. Compare them. You'll notice that your losses probably outweigh your wins, but you also have to make sure you have the right mindset of how you define a win, because sometimes we don't identify all the wins because we look at it as normalcy or we look at it as that's just what happens. But we need to celebrate every win, big, small, and different, because it is a step in the right direction every time. You can't always win. You won't always lose either. So give yourself that moment to stand tall, put your chest out and say, hey, I did that. This pivot with the Great Lock-In is not about starting over. It's literally about adjusting the ranks and deciding that I've been on the right track. I just need to make a few adjustments, shake a little bit off, add a little bit of knowledge and wealth, and then I can get in the right direction of what success is going to look like for me, because I've already built out this plan. I already thought this through. I already identified the goals that I want to achieve. Now it's just time for me to say, hold on, wait a minute, let's take a step in. Look around the room. Read the room. What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? What can I do differently? How do I get this done? You have all the tools necessary to get it done. And I hope this video encourages you to pivot, make the adjustments, and sail on down the road to success, however you've defined it. As always, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of In Jessica's Corner, where you have the opportunity to enjoy a moment of honesty, transparency, and motivation that's going to get all of us on the right path as long as we commit to it. Now, if you are on your Great Lock-In pivot journey, please comment down below and let me know how this video helps you. Let me know what kind of progress you're making. Let me know how the Great Lock-In has transformed things for you. And hopefully we can keep this going. Now, my goal is to consistently add updates throughout the process so I can say, hey, I've been able to do this. Hey, I didn't achieve this goal. Hey, this is the progress, whatever it is. Okay. Now, make sure you hit the notification bell down below, as well as subscribe to my channel and come back for all the fun videos. So we have fashion, food, family, and a lot of fun. Bye.